Oh, there you are. Okay, this is in response to Kelsey's question. How did I come to live in Canada? Well, I was born in the United States and moved around a bit. Grew up in Athens, Georgia. And when I joined the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, aka the Mormons, I started doing genealogy to find out who my ancestors were, and I wanted to find out about my grandparents. They were born in Canada, and there were still relatives in Canada that I had never met. So I guess what I did was I contacted one of the relatives and went up there to Canada, and I guess I was there for a couple weeks, and I met a fellow, and he asked me to marry him. I was very short knowing him to asking me to marry him. Anyway, we got married later on that year, and I was married to him for 8 years. We farmed in southern Ontario, and that's how I came to be in Canada. And then I divorced him, and I went to a church. Our church has something for every age, so for my age it was the single adults. So I went to a single adult conference located in Oakville. I lived in Kitchener, and Willem lived in Ottawa, and he came down and I went up, and we met at the conference, and we got married. And because we're Mormons, we marry in the temple for time and all eternity. We don't just marry till death do you part. So we went to the temple, which was at that time the closest one, and we were in the temple district of the Washington, D.C. temple. So we were married in the Washington temple. My first husband had not been a member very long, so we were not married in the temple. You have to be a member for a year before you can go to the temple. That's because you need to learn a lot of things, and there's a lot to it. So I married my first husband in Georgia. We came down here and got married in the chapel where I had been baptized in Athens. And then, but I married Willem, my final choice, in Washington. So that's in Bethesda, Maryland, or I guess it's in Kensington, Maryland. Anyway, so that's how I came to be in Canada. I remember the first winter I was there. It was about September 20th, and I could not believe that we were lighting the wood stove and that it was really cold outside. Couldn't believe it. In Georgia, the pools don't close till Halloween. So that was quite a shock. And I couldn't believe first of all, I couldn't believe why anybody that went to Canada had stayed. Anyway, driven home every year as the geese leave. Anyway, so that's my little story. Okay, that's for you, Kelsey fam. Bye-bye. There's that button. You can do this at home. Yes, whatever it is. Bye-bye.